और भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले, श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी निति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे, निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। हरे कृष्ण।
Thank you. So we see how the Dwarkavasis are giving reception when the Lord is arriving in Dwarka. They gave gifts, glorification, prayers, and their realization in welcoming Lord Sri Krishna. And also we see the description of the grandeur and opulence of Dwarka. That how beautifully the Dwarka city is decorated. So going further, after hearing all the prayers and the glories from the residents of Dwarka, we will see how Krishna will reciprocate with them. We did verse number 15, or do you have to do 15?
15 downward.
What did you say?
15 downward.
Another voice which is more prominent from the background is coming, so I cannot hear you. Pradeep, you speak.
Harikrishna Prabhuji, 15th onwards, Prabhuji.
Huh?
15
is to be done or is done?
is to be done, Prabhuji.
Okay. Okay, one. द्वारी द्वारी ग्रहणं च दधि अक्षता फलेक्षुभिः अलंकृतं पूर्णकूर्माभे कुंभे अलंकृतं पूर्णकुंभे बलिभीर्धूपदीपिका. So how they welcomed, how was the grand reception, and how Dwarka was decorated, as if Ayodhya was decorated when they received Lord Ram. In each and every door of the residential houses, auspicious things like yogurt, it is dahi, unbroken fruit, it is called akshat, sugar cane, and full water pots with articles for worship along with incense and candles were all displayed. The process of reception according to Vedic rite is not at all right. The reception was made not simply by decorating the roads and streets as above mentioned, but by worshipping the Lord with requisite ingredients like incense, lamps, and flowers, like performing Aarti. How do you perform Aarti of the Lord? By incense, lamps, flowers, along with sweets, fruits, and other palatable eatables according to one's capacity. All were offered to the Lord, and the remnants of the foodstuffs were distributed amongst the gathering citizens. So it was not like a dry reception of these modern days. I shared with you today one video. You saw Mr. Modi is reaching Russia. And when he reached Russia, how he gets the reception? That the Russian devotees are reciting the Panchatattva mantra, Srila Prabhupada's Pranati, Panchatattva mantra, and the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So this is for those who are humans. But for the Supreme Lord, how the reception was done and how we should observe the festivals, that is this very inspirational episode which is being depicted here. That how each and every citizen of Dwarka welcomed Krishna. Each and every house was ready to receive the Lord in a similar way. And thus each and every house of the roads and streets distributed such remnants of food to the citizens. Remnants means prasad, Krishna Kripa. And therefore the festival was successful. Without distribution of food, no function is complete. And that is the way of Vedic culture. Very important. If we observe anything for the worship of the Supreme Lord, for glorification of the Supreme Lord, Prabhupada is giving us the principle: without distribution of food, without prasadam distribution, no function is complete. And that is the way of Vedic culture. So whenever we have any assembly of devotees or even non-devotees, whenever we have any Krishna conscious gathering for the purpose of pleasing the Lord, this is one inseparable part of prasadam distribution. Must be there. It is not that it is an option. Prabhupada is mentioning here that no function will be successful without the distribution, or it is not complete without the distribution of food. Nishamya preshtam ayantam vasudevo mahamana akrurascha ugrasenascha ramascha adbhut vikrama pradyumnascha deshnascha sambha jambavati sutta prahasya vego achishta shayana sana bhojana. So first the residents received Krishna, and now his intimate associates, how they welcomed and received Krishna. So all these big names are mentioned here. On hearing that the most dear Krishna was approaching Dwarika Dham, magnanimous Vasudev, Akrura, Ugrasena. Oh, Ugrasen came all the way along with Krishna and Balram, leaving Mathura and coming to Dwarika. Balram is superhumanly powerful. Pradyumna is the son of Krishna and Devaki. And Charu Desna, Sambha, the son of Jambavati, all extremely happy. Abandoned resting, sitting and dining. So whoever was engaged in whatever activity, they dropped everything and they all rushed to receive Krishna. Vasudev is the son of King Surasen, husband of Devaki and the father of Lord Sri Krishna. Anyone remembers the lineage of Krishna? We are coming for next, year of Yatra. Who remembers the lineage? Yes, Sonika, बताइए. Unmute and speak.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी.
ये lineage कैसे आ रही है? बता रहे हैं ना कि वासुदेव is the son of King Surasen.
Yes, Prabhuji. It was coming from one Kshatriya Raja, Devmid, and he was having two wives. One was Kshatri and one was Vaishya. And from Kshatriya Patni, Sursen, Raja Sursen was come, and from Vaishya, Parjanya was born.
Very
and
good.
From Sursen, Vasudev was born, and from Parjanya, 5 sons, including Nanda.
You remember the mother of Vasudev?
No, Prabhuji.
Yes. Marisha. Very true. King Devmida had two wives. One was Kshatriya wife, Madisha, and from Devamida and Madisha came Surasen, Surasen got married to Marisha, and he was in Mathura. And from him came Vasudev. And Devmida, he married a Vaishya wife called Veshparna. And he got a son, Parajanya. And from Parajanya came Nanda. That is how the lineage is flowing. So the son of King Surasen's husband of Devaki and the father of Lord Sri Krishna, he is the brother of Kunti and the father of Subhadra. Subhadra was married with her cousin Arjuna, and this system is still prevalent in some parts of India. Vasudev was appointed minister of Ugrasen, and later on he married 8 daughters of Ugrasen's brothers. Devak. Devaki is the only one. So Vasudev had many wives. He married the 8 daughters of Devak, but he married others also. Anyone knows how many wives did Vasudev had? Because he was a Kshatriya king. Yes, Ramya.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, 16 wives.
Very good. 16 wives. And one of them was Rohini. One of them was Rohini. Kamsa was his brother-in-law, and Vasudev accepted. How Kamsa? Kamsa was the brother-in-law. How Kamsa was the brother-in-law of Vasudev? Pradeep?
He is the brother of Devaki.
Huh?
Brother of Devaki.
How? Oh, your daughters are very active, huh? Who will explain? How Vasudev was the brother-in-law of Kamsa? Ramya, you have already spoken. What about others? बताओ क्या सुन रहे हो? What are you hearing? Pranav, explain how.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Kamsa is brother of Devaki. So Kamsa
How
is
is the
the
brother of
brother-in-law.
Devaki? Is Kamsa the son of Surasen? How? Explain.
I don't know. I only know that he
It
is
is
brother.
written. It is written. It was just written. I just read out. What is the relation? You explain, Ravindra Prabhu.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी
Yeah.
उग्रेशन उग्रेशन सन से है कौन सा है और उग्रेशन एंड सुरसन
क्या है उग्रसेन and Sur?
ब्रदर्स प्रभु जी
हाँ?
उग्रसेन एंड सुरसन
क्या है?
ब्रदर्स
You missed the link. Who will explain? दयाशील 2 बार 3 बार पढ़ लिए, पढ़ रहे हो लगातार. You are reading the purport I am seeing from here.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी.
अभी क्या है? पढ़ के बोल दो.
प्रभु जी just a minute.
बोलो बोलो. What happened?
प्रभु जी ये क्वेश्चन है कि कंसा कैसे ब्रदर इन लॉ वसुदेव जी का, तो
हाँ.
yes, प्रभु जी.
What is the linkage? Yeah. What is the?
यहाँ पे जैसे लिखा है प्रभु जी, और रविंद्र प्रभु जी से बताया कि कंसा जो है उग्रसेन के सन है प्रभु जी, और उनके ब्रदर है देवका, और
देवा.
देवका के जो
Yes.
डॉटर
ये
है
सूरसेन बोल रहे थे ना. रविंद्र सूरसेन बोल रहे थे. उनके ब्रदर है देवक. ठीक है. फिर
यस प्रभु जी.
तो अरे यार बंद क्यों कर रहे हो? यू आर म्यूटेड.
Then he will be the brother-in-law, Prabhuji, Kamsa, then for Vasudeva.
How? Again, you have muted. What are you doing? Why you are again and again switching on the button and off, on and off?
Another mobile for recording, it is nearby, it's becoming echo. Yes, Prabhuji. So, as Vasudeva married to Devaki, Prabhuji, so and Devaki's brother is Kamsa.
How?
Because just a minute. Devaki and Kamsa, they are brother, Prabhuji, brother.
They are from the same
brother
father.
sister.
Devaki and Kamsa are having the same father.
No, Prabhuji, no.
Then that's what
Cousin,
I'm asking. What is the
cousin
connection?
sister, Prabhuji, cousin sister.
Devaki is the daughter of
Devaka.
Dev, and
And
Kamsa is the son
Kamsa is
of
the son of Ugrasen. And Kamsa and Ugrasen and Devaka, they are brother.
they are brother. Yes. So that is the connection. That Ugrasen has a brother who's Devak, and Devak's daughter is Devaki, and Ugrasen's son is Kamsa. So when Devaki gets married to Vasudeva, Kamsa becomes the brother-in-law. Remember the word Devak. Most of us do not remember. That is why I was stressing so much. That what is the connection? Devaki is one of them. Kamsa was the brother-in-law, and Vasudeva accepted voluntary imprisonment by Kamsa on mutual agreement to deliver the eighth son of Devaki. This was foiled by the will of Krishna as maternal uncle of the Pandavas. He took active part in the purificatory process of the Pandavas. He sent for the priest Kashyapa at the Shatshringa Parvat, and he executed the functions. When Krishna appeared within the bars of Kamsa's prison house, he was transferred by Vasudeva to the house of Nanda Maharaj, the foster father of Krishna at Gokul. Krishna disappeared along with Baladev prior to the disappearance of Vasudeva. This is very important. Krishna disappeared along with Baladev prior to the disappearance of Vasudeva, and Arjuna, Vasudeva's nephew, undertook the charge of the funeral ceremony after Vasudeva's disappearance. Very important. One of Vasudev's daughter is what are you people hearing?
Subhadra, Prabhuji.
Subhadra. And Subhadra married
Arjun.
So after Krishna and Balram disappeared, the last funeral rites of Vasudeva was done by Arjuna. Akrura. Prabhupada is explaining. He is the commander-in-chief of the Vrishni dynasty and a great devotee of Lord Krishna. Akrura attained success in devotional service to the Lord by one of the single process of offering prayers, Vandanam. He was the husband of Sutani, daughter of Ahuka. He supported Arjuna when Arjuna took Subhadra forcibly away by the will of Krishna. Both Krishna and Akrura went to see Arjuna after the successful kidnapping of Subhadra. Both of them presented dowries to Arjuna after this incident. Akrura was also present when Abhimanyu, the son of Subhadra, was married with Uttara, mother of Maharaj Parikshit. Ahuka, the father-in-law of Akrura, was not on good terms with Akrura, but both of them were devotees of the Lord. Ugrasen, one of the powerful kings of the Vrishni dynasty, and cousin of Maharaj Kunti Bhoj. The other name is Ahuka. Okay. Ahuka is the name of Ugrasen. His ministers was Vasudev and his son was the powerful Kamsa. This Kamsa imprisoned his father and became the king of Mathura. By the grace of Lord Krishna and his brother Lord Baldev, Kamsa was killed and Ugrasen was reinstalled on the throne. When Shalva attacked the city of Dwarka, Ugrasen fought very valiantly and repulsed the enemy. Ugrasen inquired from Naradji about the divinity of Lord Krishna when the Yadu dynasty was to be vanquished. Ugrasen was entrusted with the iron lump produced from the womb of Samba. He ground the iron lump into powder and then mixed it with sea water on the coast of Dwarka. Thereafter, he ordered complete prohibition within the city of Dwarka and the kingdom. He got salvation after his death. So he remained in Dwarka. Baldev, he is the divine son of Vasudev by his wife Rohini. He is also known as Rohini, the beloved son of Rohini, along with his mother, Rohini. When Vasudev embraced imprisonment by mutual agreement with Kamsa, so Nand Maharaj is also the foster father of Baldev, along with Lord Krishna. So Vasudev had both the wives, Devaki and Rohini, and Nand Maharaj gave shelter to both, but particularly the sons. Rohini's sons Baldev. Rohini also stayed in Braj, and of course Vasudev carried Krishna to Braj. Lord Krishna and Lord Baldev were constant companions from their very childhood, although they were stepbrothers. Baldev is the planetary manifestation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and therefore he is as good and as powerful as Lord Krishna. He belongs to the Vishnu Tattva, the principle of Godhead. He attended the Swayamvar ceremony of Draupadi along with Sri Krishna. When Subhadra was kidnapped by Arjuna by the organized plan of Sri Krishna, Baldev was very angry with Arjuna and wanted to kill him at once. Sri Krishna, for the sake of his dear friend, fell at the feet of Lord Baldev and implored him not to be so angry. We see, Prabhupada says that the Lord is always looking for an opportunity to serve his devotee. Not only Lord Krishna served Arjuna to become his charioteer, but before that also he saved Arjuna from the wrath of Balramji, Baldev. Baldev wanted to kill him. But Krishna fell at the lotus feet of Lord Baldev and implored him not to be angry. Sri Baldev was thus satisfied. Similarly, he was once very angry with the Kauravas and he wanted to throw their whole city into the depths of the Yamuna. Which incident is this? That Balramji was very angry with the Kauravas and he wanted to throw their whole city into the depth. Yes, Madan Sarup Prabhu? बोलिए, you are muted. Unmute करके बोलिए.
When one of his sons or grandson tried to marry this fellow's daughter, Duryodhana's daughter.
Yeah, what is the name of Duryodhana's daughter?
Name I don't remember.
You will get
So-
only. Yeah.
Then he was imprisoned. So then Baldev was very upset with Kauravas and then he said either you release or I drag the whole city into the.
No, not only that you release. He said that we want our bride back. Yes, Ramya, आप बताओ.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Prabhuji, when Lord Krishna's one of the sons Samba
Yeah.
was the daughter of Duryodhan, Lakshmana.
Yes.
And then the Kauravas became very furious and they actually imprisoned Samba.
Yeah.
And when Baldev and other Dwarkavasi heard about that, then Baldev became very furious and he wanted to submerge the whole Hastinapur in Yamuna.
Yeah. 75% you have explained. Still little bit is remaining. Who will explain? Why he became very furious, Baldev ji? Sonika?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, I was knowing the same as Ramya Mataji has told.
No, that is there, but there was one incident which made really Balramji very furious. Priyanka? Abhi Sonika, your chance is over now. Now chance has gone to others. ये बाकी भक्त लोगों को तो कुछ पता ही नहीं कृष्ण लीला के। ये कभी कृष्णा बुक पढ़ते नहीं, इनके पास जीवन में टाइम नहीं है। बोलो बोलो।
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी, दुर्योधन इंसल्ट किया था ऐसे कृष्ण।
क्या इंसल्ट किया था वही पूछ रहे हैं, क्या इंसल्ट किया था?
हम जो है राजवंशी है, ये तो गोला वाले हैं, ऐसा कुछ था।
हाँ, he said that how can paupers match the kingly prince? That she is the princess and this fellow is a cowherd. How can there be any match? These are our servants. So how can the servants dare to marry the princess? He said that the Dwarkavasis, they subsist on Hastinapur. So how can they dare to take away the princess of Hastinapur? So he was insulting the entire lineage, and Balramji became very furious. So he wanted to tell Duryodhana, and Duryodhana, you know, is the rascal number one. He is a disciple of Balramji, and still he was behaving so inimical, insulting, and saying that their position was much superior and the Dwarkavasis were much inferior. So there cannot be any compatibility. So Balramji became very furious. He was once very angry with the Kauravas and he wanted to throw their whole city into the depths of the Yamuna. But the Kauravas satisfied him by surrendering unto his divine lotus feet. He was actually the seventh son of Devaki prior to the birth of Lord Krishna. But by the will of the Lord, he was transferred to the womb of Rohini to escape the wrath of Kamsa. His other name is therefore Sankarshana, who is the plenary portion of Sri Baldev. Because he is as powerful as Lord Krishna and can bestow spiritual power to the devotee, he is therefore known as Baldev. In the Vedas also it is enjoined that no one can know the Supreme Lord without being favored by Baldev. Bala means spiritual strength, not physical. Some less intelligent persons interpret Bal as the strength of the body. But no one can have spiritual realization by physical strength. Physical strength ends with the end of the physical body. But spiritual strength follows the spirit soul, the next transmigration. And therefore the strength obtained by Baldev is never wasted. The strength is eternal and thus Baldev is the original spiritual master of all devotees. Sri Baldev was also a class friend of Lord Krishna as a student of Sandipani Muni. In his childhood, he killed many asuras along with Sri Krishna. And specifically, he killed the Dhenukasur at Talavan. During the Kurukshetra battle, he remained neutral and he tried his best not to bring about the fight. He was in favor of Duryodhana, but still he remained neutral. When there was a club fight between Duryodhana and Bhimasen, he was present on the spot. He was angry at Bhimsen when the latter struck Duryodhana on the thigh or below the belt, and he wanted to retaliate the unfair action. Lord Sri Krishna saved Bhima from his wrath, but he left the place at once, being disgusted at Bhimsen. This is very good principle. when the anger comes and we want to take some revengeful action, then what is the best remedy? That, like Lord Balram, he left the place. And after his departure, Duryodhana fell to the ground, meet his death. The funeral ceremony of Abhimanyu, the son of Arjuna, was performed by him. Oh, the funeral ceremony of Abhimanyu, the son of Arjuna, was performed by him. Why? Who can reply? Why did he perform the funeral ceremony of Abhimanyu? Why not others? Bolo? Why will Balram? He was not there in the battle, he was in the pilgrimage. And Prabhupada is mentioning the funeral ceremony of Abhimanyu was performed by Baldev. If you don't know, then find out. We'll discuss tomorrow. I'll hear from you. And he was the maternal uncle. Prabhupada is mentioned here. The reason is there. As he was the maternal uncle. It was impossible to be performed by any of the Pandavas who were all overwhelmed with grief. Prabhupada does not leave any scope for any ambiguity. Prabhupada has given the explanation. The Pandavas were overwhelmed with grief. At the last stage, he departed from the world by producing a great white snake from his mouth. And thus he was carried by Sheshnag in the shape of a serpent. Pradyumna, an incarnation of Kamadev, or according to others, an incarnation of Sanat Kumar, born as the son of the personality of Godhead Lord Shri Krishna, and Lakshmi Devi Srimati Rukmani, the principal queen at Dwarika. He was one of those who went to congratulate Arjuna upon his marrying Subhadra. He was one of the great generals who fought with Salva, and while fighting with him, he became unconscious on the battlefield. His charioteer brought him back to the camp from the battlefield, and for this action he was very sorry and rebuked his charioteer. However, he fought again with Salva and was victorious. He heard all about the different demigods from Naradji. He is one of the 4 plenary expansions of Lord Shri Krishna. He is the 3rd one. Vasudev, Sankarshan, Pradyumna. And 4th is Aniruddha. He inquired from his father Shri Krishna about the glories of the Brahmanas. During the fratricidal war among the descendants of Yadu, he died at the hand of Bhoj, another king of the Vishnus. After his death, he was installed in his original position. Charu Desna. He is another son of Lord Shri Krishna and Rukmani Devi. That means he is the younger brother of Pradyumna. He was also present during the Swayamvar ceremony of Draupadi. He was a great warrior like his brother and father. He fought with Vivindhika and killed him in the fight. Sambha, one of the great heroes of the Yadu dynasty, and the son of Lord Shri Krishna by his wife Jambavati. He learned the military art of throwing arrows from Arjuna, and he became a member of parliament during the time of Maharaj Yudhishthir. He was present during the Rajasuri Yagya of Maharaj Yudhishthir, when all the Vrishnis were assembled during the time of Prabhas Yagya. His glorious activities were narrated by Satyaki before Lord Baldev. He was also present along with his father Lord Shri Krishna during the Ashwamedh Yagya performed by Yudhishthir. He was presented before the same rishis falsely dressed as a pregnant woman by his brothers. And in fun, he asked the rishis what he was going to deliver. The rishis replied that he would deliver a lump of iron, which would be the cause of fratricidal war in the family of Yadu. The next day in the morning, Samba delivered a large lump of iron, which was entrusted to Ugrasen for necessary action. Actually, later on, there was the foretold fratricidal war, and Samba died in that war. So all these sons of Lord Krishna left their respective palaces and leaving aside all their engagements, including lying down, sitting, and dining, hastened toward their exalted father. I'll take one more verse. 18th verse. Varana Indram Purushkritya Brahmane Sasumangale Shankhaturya Ninadena Brahmaghosena Chadrata. Brahmaghosena Chadrata. Prati Ujagmu Prather Hasta Pranaya Yogit Sadhuvasha. They hastened towards the Lord on chariots with Brahmins bearing flowers and other auspicious items. Before them were elephants, emblems of good fortune, conch shells and bugles were sounded, and Vedic hymns were chanted. Thus they offered their respect, which was saturated with affection. This is how, with what intensity and enthusiasm, all these great personalities and warriors, they rushed to the place where Krishna was arriving in Dwarika. The Vedic way of receiving a great personality creates an atmosphere of respect, which is saturated with affection and veneration. Affection is intimacy, and veneration is respect. The auspicious atmosphere of such a reception depends on the paraphernalia described above, including conch shells, flowers, incense, decorated elephants, and the qualified brahmanas reciting verses from the Vedic literature. Such a program of reception is full of sincerity on the part of both the receiver and the received. It is 10 past 9. I'll take 2 more verses. Varamukhya cha Satsha Yanestad Darshan Utsuka Lasat Kundala Nibhrata Kapola Vadana Shriya. At the same time, many hundreds of well-known prostitutes began to proceed on various vehicles. They were all very eager to meet the Lord, and their beautiful faces were decorated with dazzling earrings, which enhanced the beauty of their foreheads. This is also there. Krishna is the Lord of everyone. Mami Partha Vipashitya, yes, you. What is the verse? Mami Partha Vipashitya, yes, you Papayoniya. Striyo Vaishyo Tata Shudra Tepi Yanti Param. So even those, is mentioned that those who were prostitutes, they also became so eager and keen to receive the Lord. Prabhupada says, we may not hate even the prostitutes if they are devotees of the Lord. Even today, there are many millions of prostitutes in great cities of India who are sincere devotees of the Lord. By trick or chance, one may be obligated to adopt a profession which is not very adorable in society. But that does not hamper one in executing devotional service to the Lord. Devotional service to the Lord is uncheckable in all circumstances. Can anyone name one of the personality from this society who was a great devotee of the Lord? Like Prabhupada is writing here.
Lakshya Hira.
Sorry?
Lakshya Hira in Haridas Thakur.
She later became Lakshya Hira. Okay. Lakshya Hira became, yes, very good. But someone who was already a devotee. And she was a prostitute. And she became the guiding force for a lusty person to become a great devotee. Voila. You know about Chintamani? Chintamani? You heard about Chintamani? Whom she guided? Srila Bilva Mangal Thakur. Bilva Mangal Thakur was so possessed to meet this Chintamani that he took the assistance of a dead body to cross the river while it was flooding and raining. And when he reached Chintamani's place, Chintamani rebuked him and said that so much attraction you are having for this immortal body, if a fraction of it, if you have for the Supreme Lord, then your life will become successful. And when Chintamani rebuked Bilva Mangal Thakur in this way, Bilva Mangal Thakur, he woke up and he approached, he asked where to meet the Lord, and she said in Vrindavan. And he approached Vrindavan. Then you know the history. So Prabhupada is saying that even due to circumstances, sometimes some may be compelled. Prabhupada is saying devotional service to the Lord is uncheckable in all circumstances. And it is understood here that even in those days, about 5,000 years ago, there were prostitutes in city like Dwarka where Lord Krishna resided. This means that prostitutes are necessary citizens for the proper upkeep of society. The government opens wine shops, but this does not mean that the government encourages the drinking of wine. The idea is that there is a class of men who will drink at any cost. And it has been experienced that prohibition in great cities encouraged illicit smuggling of wine. Similarly, men who are not satisfied at home require such concessions as prostitutions. And if there are no prostitutes, then such low men will induce others into prostitution. It is better that prostitutes be available in the marketplace so that the sanctity of the society can be maintained. It is better to maintain a class of prostitutes than to encourage prostitutes within the society. The real reformation is to enlighten all people to become devotees of the Lord. And that will check all kinds of deteriorating factors of life. Prabhupada mentions. Shri Bilva Mangal Thakur, a great Acharya of Vishnu Swami Vaishnava sect, in his householder life was overly attached to a prostitute who happened to be a devotee of the Lord. One night when the Thakur came to Chintamani's house in torrents of rain and thunder, Chintamani was astonished to see how the Thakur could come on such a dreadful night after foaming river which was full of waves. And of course, he mounted on a dead body which was floating in the river. She said to Thakur Bilva Mangal that his attraction for the flesh and bone of an insignificant woman like her would be properly utilized if he could be diverted to the devotional service of the Lord. To achieve attraction for the transcendental beauty of the Lord, it was a momentous hour for the Thakur, and it took a turn towards spiritual realization by the words of a prostitute. Later on, Thakur accepted the prostitute as his spiritual master, and in several places of his literary work, he has glorified the name of Chintamani, who showed him the right path. Oh, Prabhupada is mentioning that verse also. In the Bhagavad Gita, the Lord says, O son of Partha, even the low-born Chandalas and those who are born in the family of unbelievers, and even the prostitutes can attain the perfection of life if they take shelter of unalloyed devotional service to me. Which verse is this? Same verse. Mami Partha Vipashu. O son of Partha, even the low-born Chandalas, Prabhupada is paraphrasing it, and those who are born in the family of unbelievers. These are all Papyoni. Chandalas, family of Mami Partha Vipashita, yes, you api Papyoni. And even the prostitutes shall attain the perfection of life if they take shelter of unalloyed devotional service to me. Because the path of devotional service, there cannot be any impediments due to degraded birth and occupation. The path is open for everyone who agrees to follow it. It appears that the prostitutes of Dwarka were so eager to meet the Lord, were all his unalloyed devotees, and thus they were on the path of salvation according to the above verse of Bhagavad Gita. Therefore, the only reformation that is necessary in society is to make an organized effort to turn the citizens into devotees of the Lord. Thus, all the good qualities of the denizens of heaven will overtake them in their own way. On the other hand, those who are non-devotees have no good qualification whatsoever. However, they may be materially advanced. The difference is that the devotees of the Lord are on the path of liberation, whereas the non-devotees are on the path of further entanglement in material bondage. The criteria of advancement of civilization is whether the people are educated and advanced on the path of salvation. The Prabhupada, how Prabhupada appreciates. And he brings out the real fault which is prevailing in the society. Is what is actually lacking is citizens are not becoming Krishna conscious. So if they are made to become Krishna conscious, so all their bad qualities, all their quarrels, all their conflicts, everything will be resolved. This is the last verse for today. Who else came? See, Natanarta Gandharva Suta Magadha Vandina Gayanti cha Uttama Shloka Charitani Adbhutani cha. So not only the prostitutes came, also came the expert dramatists, Nata, Nartaka, dancers, Gandharva, celestial singers. Then Suta is professional historians. Then genealogists, they are the Magadha. And learned speakers, Vadina. All gave their respective contribution, being inspired by the superhuman pastime of the Lord. Thus they proceeded on and on. It appears that 5,000 years ago, the society also needed the services of the dramatist, artist, dancers, singers, historians, genealogists, public speakers, etc. Dancers, singers, and dramatic artists mostly hail from the Shudra community, whereas the learned historians, genealogists, and public speakers hail from the Brahmana community. All of them belong to a particular caste, and they became so trained in their respective families. Such dramatists, dancers, singers, historians, genealogists, and public speakers would dwell on the subject of the Lord's superhuman activities in different ages and millenniums, and not on ordinary events. Nor were they in chronological order. All the Puranas are historical facts described only in relation to the Supreme Lord in different ages and times, as well as on a different planet also. Therefore, we do not find any chronological order. The modern historians therefore cannot catch up the link, and thus they unauthoritatively remark that the Puranas are all imaginary stories only. Even 100 years ago in India, all dramatic performances were centered around the superhuman activities of the Supreme Lord. The common people would be verily entertained by the performance of dramas, and yatra parties played wonderfully on the superhuman activities of the Lord. And thus even the illiterate agriculturalist would be a participant in the knowledge of Vedic literature despite a considerable lack of academic qualification. Therefore, expert players in drama, dancers, singers, speakers, etc. are required for spiritual enlightenment of the common man. The genealogist would give account completely of the descendants of a particular family. Genealogist. The lineage, descendants of the family. Even at the present moment, the guides in the pilgrimage site of India submit a complete account of genealogical tables before a new comer. This wonderful act sometimes attracts most customers to receive such important information. Many years back, when I was giving my class on Ramayana, and I was making some search. So I was astounded to see when one of the Muslim country, Jakarta, or Indonesia, which is the largest Muslim population in the world. So when Pakistan became independent, so what Pakistan tried? Pakistan always had the complex of being insignificant in front of India. So the first thing the foreign minister of Pakistan did, he went to visit the most populated Muslim country, that is Indonesia. And the foreign minister of Indonesia welcomed the Pakistan foreign minister by making him see a stage drama. And that drama was Ramayana. Of course, this Pakistani foreign minister, although he is a Muslim, but he knew what is Ramayana. And he knew all the characters of Ramayana. But it was the first diplomatic mission. He could not say stop it. That was out of etiquette. So he saw the whole drama, everything was over. And when they were exchanging, so this Pakistan foreign minister asked the Indonesian counterpart that, my dear sir, your country is a Muslim country, like our country, and the religion here is Islam. So why did you cast this Ramayana for me? Why did you make this Ramayana drama in front of me? Why did you showcase this Ramayana drama? And the foreign minister of Indonesia said that our religion may be Islam, but our hearts are with Lord Ram. So this is how, you see, this is what Prabhupada is commenting on the purport. That for any important event, on any important celebration on occasion, so these people were required. All these dramatists, singers, artists, all performers were required. So that they can make others, those who are non-conversant, also become inclined to become devotees of the Lord. Okay, so I'll stop here. Any contribution from your side? Any question or any comment? We see how the festivity is happening in Dwarka when Krishna is returning. How everyone is approaching the Lord.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी।
Hare Krishna.
प्रभु जी वसुदेव का लिनेज से दोबारा बताएं क्या?
क्या?
वसुदेव जी का जो लिनेज है वो
इसी
कैसे?
बात जब हम गए थे वहां पे ना गोकुल में, तो मैंने बहुत अच्छे से बताया था। देखो, सोनिका को याद है? सोनिका, आप सुनो।
हरे कृष्ण
उन्होंने
प्रभु जी।
बताया था अभी। हाँ, इन्होंने भी बताया था। हाँ, बताइए।
प्रभु जी, राजा देवमीड़ हुए थे, क्षत्रिय राजा थे, और उनकी दो पत्नियां थी। एक क्षत्रिय पत्नी थी और एक वैश्य पत्नी थी।
एक सेकेंड, जो आप कह रही है बिल्कुल सही है, बस आपसे एक स्टेप पहले चला जाता हूँ। तो अभी आपने देखा कि लिखा हुआ था ना, यदु, वृष्णि, अंध, भोज, ये सब में कृष्ण आते हैं। हाँ, तो ये वर्णन आया, कृष्णा appears in Chandravansha, and in the Yadava dynasty, the Yadu, from Maharaj Yadu, the 74th generation, there was a great Yadava king whose name was Vrishni. So the Yadus are also called Vrishnis, because in the Yadu Vamsha, who appeared? Vrishni. Maharaj Vrishni appeared. And so they are called the Yadus also and Vrishnis also. And Vrishni had a son whose name was Devamila. Now carry on, Sonika.
Hare Krishna Prabhu ji. Devmeda has two wives. One was Kshatriya and one was Vaishya. From Kshatriya wife, Sursena, King Sursena was born, and the wife of Sursena was Marisha. and from them Vasudev took born, have born, and from the Vaishya Patni, Parjanya was born, and from Parjanya, 5 sons were there, born, including Nanda Maharaj.
Yes. So King Devameda, although he was a Kshatriya, but he was very, very pious and very renounced. And his Vaishya wife, Veshparna, she gave birth to the son whose name is Parjanya. And Parjanya was completely renounced. He had no interest in ruling. And he would go in the pasturing grounds with the cows. Because his mother was also Vaishya. And he was in the Braja area, in the Braja Mandal. And as he said, that he gave 5 sons and 2 daughters. And the third son is Nanda Maharaj. From Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda came Krishna. And also from Vasudeva and Devaki came Krishna. Okay. फिर भूल जाओगे, अगले साल पूछेंगे फिर भूल जाओगे, याद बात नहीं रहेगा। उनको कैसे याद है? ये कैसे नहीं भूली 1 साल बाद? This is the quality of hearing. How much eager the heart is to hear. And while hearing, how much the focus is there. So the subject matter will go to that extent deeper. And to that extent, it will remain in the heart. Thank you, Sonika. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, all glories to the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna.